that you speak from God when you speak. Now, the person, Justin, that's something totally different. But if you have a hard shell, that shouldn't matter because we all are individuals. So don't look at the person. You take what you take from God and you speak to the Spirit when you speak, if that makes sense. So you are genuine when you say what you say. He would just have to get a harder shell. It don't bother me at all because you speak my language. I take what I take, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. Everybody can't take you. And that's all I want to say. So, no, you don't take it too far. If you offend whoever, then they got to deal with that. That's spirit of offense. Get over it or move on. And that's it. Like I told you before, you're called to a certain kind of people. You have a certain brand, just like Hooters have a certain kind of brand. They call certain, like Victoria's Secrets have a certain kind of brand. Everybody can't work there.
Right.
Everybody can't come here. This is your brand. If you don't belong, you don't belong. Keep it moving. And that's all I want to say. Thank you. I digress.
Yeah. Well, nobody's going to fight you on that, Crystal. Nobody's going to fight you on that. Well, she said what she said, huh? And we heard what we heard, right? All right, so good morning. First of all, thank you for that, Crystal. And thank you for the clarity that you have given to your mother, who has been saved since 1960, 60, whenever she got saved. Because, like, your mom,
you're right.
Yeah. And so that is never my intention to offend or say anything to anybody else. The rest of you will be offended. You should be offended. If I haven't gotten down your road, please stay put. I'll get to you. So yeah, good morning. So what's up, team? Where are y'all at this morning? Are y'all in there this morning? Is my team in here?
We are. Everybody's here. We're here to count for. Yes, sir.
Good. I just got to make sure my team is in here today. Y'all got to hold me down because it's gonna be one of them type of mornings. Do y'all understand me? We're talking about moments. We're talking about moments this morning, missing moments. So I was praying over the weekend, and I wanted to release this word yesterday, and the Lord was like, no, you have to wait until Monday to release this because of the people that are online on Mondays when I preach or when I teach or whatever you want to call it. The moments are so important. I want to give you some context for what's going to happen this morning because I want you guys to be able to benefit from what's happening. Okay? I want you to benefit from what's happening. First thing I want to tell y'all is that when God gives you a word, it is very important that you share it in a certain time. Not just that you start blurting out what God has given you. A lot of people make the immature and adolescent mistake by planting or tossing out a word before it's time, right? It does not help us to start throwing seeds in the ground during the winter time. You're supposed to throw those down in harvest time so that when the winter passes, the ground is done or has done what it's supposed to do in order to germinate the seed so that you can have a harvest when it's time, correct? There is a particular text in the Bible that says that there's a time and a season to all things, a time to laugh, time to cry, a time to mourn, a time to restrain from mourning. There's a time and a season to all things under heaven, right? And for the sake of this time, I want y'all to understand the difference between the seasons and the moments. The word time is interchangeable with the word moments because it is how we mark different things. Like some of you remember the time that you got pregnant. You remember the moment. You might not remember the specific date, but you remember the times and moments, which is why we have birthdays, which is why we have holidays and celebrations and all those other things, because it marks moments in our lives. Are y'all with me this morning? Everybody say moments.
Moments.
Come on, if you got a microphone, just open it up and say moments. And I'm going to tell you why. It's going to help you. It's going to push you into a different area. When we start understanding that moments have a lot to do with how our lives are orchestrated, it starts changing the way we handle things in our lives. The Bible says that when God started creating the heavens and the earth, he stopped and he started celebrating moments. It says was day number 1 and day number 2, and then he stopped and said, "It is good." Right? And then he did day number 3, and he did, he created separated the water from the air and made the dust and all that other stuff. And he stopped and he celebrated and said it was good. And then he created the birds and the beasts and the fish. And then he stopped again and said it is good. He stopped in moments so that he knew what to do. He knew how to appreciate that moment. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Y'all have to learn how to start and appreciate the moments when they are happening. Oprah Winfrey said this, and I'm going to repeat it for the sake of being able to teach this the way that I need to, according to the Bible. It says that there's a time and season for everything, a time to live, time to die, time to rejoice, a time to mourn, time to this, and time to do that. Interchange the word time with moments, and it'll help you understand this. The worst thing we can do at any moment is wish that it was a different moment. This is what Oprah Winfrey said. The worst thing you can do at any moment is wish that it is another moment. Y'all remember reading the Bible, and it says, and forgetting those things which are what? Behind me, right? A lot of times when we do that, we use that in a negative connotation, right? We always say, I'm glad I'm over that relationship. I'm glad I'm past this part in my life. I'm glad I'm past this part in my life. I'm glad I don't have to go through that no more. I'm glad I don't have to deal with them no more. Y'all talk to me this morning. Y'all gotta have a conversation with me this morning because I want you to work through this deliverance. Do y'all read the Bible and y'all know how we associate it with that? We never associate that scripture with positive things. We never associate that scripture when it says, and forgetting those things which are behind me. Nobody wants to forget when they made a lot of money. Nobody wants to forget when they were having a good moment in their relationship. Nobody wants to forget when everything was going good with the family. Nobody wants to forget when they had a great car, it worked, and it wasn't breaking down and all this. People want to go back and relive those moments. So most of the time, the moments that you have to forget are the ones that cause you to become stagnant. Oh, so y'all gonna be defiant and be quiet anyways. Okay.
Nah, that's good.
And so watch this. Nobody is trying to recreate an abusive moment. Nobody's trying to recreate that. Nobody's trying to recreate when they were broke and living in their car. Nobody's trying to recreate that moment. Nobody's trying to recreate a moment of hurt. Nobody's trying to recreate a moment of trauma. Nobody's trying to recreate a moment of abuse. When those type of things happen, the first thing we want to do is move on. Right? But we want to recreate happy moments. And trying to recreate happy moments disrespects the opportunities that we have in the current moments. Let me say it again. Trying to recreate happy moments disrespects the opportunity we have in the current moment.
That's good.
We spend so much time trying to recreate happy moments that we disrespect the opportunity in the current moment. Most people live chasing what has already run away from them. Oh my God, preach, Jay. Most people live trying to recreate. Some of you are trying to recreate your high school figure. I'm going to come right down your streets and y'all going to play with me. Some of y'all are trying to get back to a size 12. You done had 3 babies. You done had 2 marriages. You done been through too much. You done did too much. Ain't no point in trying to get back down to a size 12. Just get as small as you can and celebrate that. Most people... Listen, most people drive themselves crazy trying to recapture a moment that is gone. That moment has run away from you. That moment is gone. It ceased to exist. And you are going to hurt yourself trying to recreate that moment. You are going to hurt yourself trying to recreate that moment. And the reason that that's not healthy is because it is a wasted wish. Hear me. It is a wasted wish. When you try to recreate a moment that made you happy in a point in time, watch this, it becomes a wasted wish. This is why most of y'all can't appreciate the job that you have, because you're mourning over the one that you lost. I can't hear nobody. Most of you can't even appreciate the relationship that you have because it does not resemble the good relationship that you lost. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me. But a lot of times, this is why you cannot see the potential in your husband, or potential in your wife, or potential in the person that you're dating, is because it does not resemble a moment that you had in a different relationship. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, sir.
And a wasted effort is trying to recreate. You will waste efforts trying to recreate moments that you have lost. Some of y'all have lost some really good people. And the reason you can't settle down now is because you're trying to replace those people. But nobody fits the criteria of what you lost.
That's good.
What I need y'all to do is this. I need y'all to recognize the moment that you're in right now. The moment that you're in right now. And I'm not talking about the bad part of it, the good part of the moment that you're in right now. I need you to focus. I need you to contemplate on the moment that you're in right now. Most people will not appreciate their current because they're still mourning over their past. Bible says this, that when Saul died, the people started crying. Because when we read it as if Saul was a bad king. Saul was not a bad king. Saul was disobedient to God. That was Saul's problem. So the people, when Saul died, they mourned over the king because Saul was actually beneficial for the king. He put them in a different economic state. Even though it was disobedient to God, he helped the people come closer. And it is hard for them to get over the fact that Saul had died. So the people mourned Saul. And God asked them, how long will you mourn for him? Y'all don't want it. So let me give it to you this way. God is asking you this moment, how long are you going to mourn for 1995? How long are you going to mourn? They left. They're gone. It's over. Let it go. How long are you going to mourn over that car? It got repoed. They came and got it. It's gone. Leave it alone. How long are you going to mourn? The property is no longer available. I know you got the money, but the price is too high. You can't afford it. It is what it is. How long are you going to mourn for that missed moment?
My God. My God. Right.
Some of you have been mourning so long you cannot see the life in anything else. And I don't know why I'm finna say this, but the Lord is saying some of you have been mourning over children for so long you can't even appreciate the ones that you're currently raising because you're trying to relive that moment through the new baby. And these are two different types of children. And what happens is a lot of people won't allow you to grow out of what y'all ain't saying nothing to me. A lot of times people won't allow you to grow out of what you've gone through, but you got to stop mourning for what has happened and you have to seize this moment.
Yes, God.
You will hurt yourself. Watch this. You will hurt yourself. Some of you have had so much money come through your hands that now you're working overtime, double time, triple time, trying to recreate a moment when you were wealthy now that you are struggling. I can't hear nobody. And God says, how long are you going to mourn for that moment? Just work while you can work what you can work and then go home and rest. It'll come to you when it's supposed to. I can't hear nobody. The reason that this is important is, watch this, because we're so caught up in the moment that we forget about the season. Why is the season important? Because it says that there's a time and a season. Watch this, a moment and a season. Watch this. The reason that that is important is because the time is that moment is that space in said season. But if you know anything about season, what goes around, y'all not helping me. What goes around rebound comes. And see, the reason that is important is because if you keep living of the moment of last year, when your moment comes this year, you'll miss it because you didn't recognize that the season was coming back. Okay, y'all not helping me. Y'all didn't realize that the season was coming back around, and your season of celebration is coming back. But if you're still mourning about what you lost, you will never see it coming. You'll never see it coming because you're so busy mourning over what is gone that you will never see success coming. I can't hear nobody. And so what happens is we have learned to adjust moment by moment by moment. Watch this. We've become so gung-ho at making things consistent, we give it no room to grow or to change or develop. Because we always talking about it's my season, it's my season, it's my season. But before you ever go to a season, let me just drop this on you. All of your smaller or all of your bigger seasons are made of smaller moments. I can't hear nobody. All of your biggest seasons are made of smaller moments. And so what happens is every single day you're missing a moment. Every single day, you're missing a moment. This is why the Bible says that don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has problems of its own. But some of y'all are not carrying yesterday's problem. Y'all carrying last year's problem. Y'all not saying nothing to me. Y'all carrying last month's problem. Y'all carrying problems from 5 years ago. You're carrying generational problems. And so what feels like defeat is not defeat. You're piling moments on top of moments on top of moments on top of moments on top of moments. And what has happened is you have piled so many unsuccessful moments on top of you that you can't see victory in front of you. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir.
Team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are here.
Y'all have any questions? No. I'm asking if y'all have any questions, any comments.
No, I'm listening.
No, I think this is so good, Pastor Jay. This is Chrissy, and I think it's good because I know I found myself guilty of this where I've either tried to recreate moments and I miss the current moment that I'm in, or I'm trying so hard to get to where I know I'm supposed to be that I'm not living in the moment. So I'm not appreciating what's happening right now. I'm not appreciating where I am right now and what I've come out of or what I've come through because I'm so busy either looking back trying to recreate something or moving or trying so hard to move forward. So yeah, this is good to me.
Anyone else?
This is Pastor Kim. I ain't gonna say this is good to me. I'm gonna say this hurt. And this is painful, and I'm over here licking my wounds because every time you said something, I thought about a moment that I'm still holding on to, or a situation that I'm still holding on to, and it kind of was an awakening about wow, maybe you're not where you're supposed to be because you are still living in moments that God intended to be passed by. And so, yeah, I'm over here licking wounds right now. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. I only brought Band-Aids and peroxide. God bless.
Can I get that Mercurochrome, though? Can I get that Mercurochrome?
That Bactine. Come on. Anyone else? Somebody's mic is open. Reverend Jackie, you had something to say?
I did, but I gotta hold it for a moment. Let me hold it for a moment.
Yes, ma'am. So now watch this. The other thing that God wants you to understand, the other reason that people miss, hey, Robbie, one of the other reasons that people miss their moments, watch this, is because of the size of the moment. The size of the moment. Remember when I told y'all at the beginning that your successes or your seasons are made up of a bunch of smaller moments? Y'all remember? Y'all remember? And they're made up of a bunch of smaller moments. And a lot of times we get discouraged because of the size of the moment. when you say size, equate size with opportunity. And a lot of times what happens is we will walk away from an opportunity because it's not big enough. Y'all not saying nothing to me. We'll walk away from a space because it's not big enough. And as a matter of fact, we will even forfeit, hey, Nicole, the opportunity to use that moment or that chance. Watch this. Some of you don't have the money you feel like you should have, but instead of planting the money that you do have, you become either wasteful or hoarding. Come closer. You come wasteful or hoarding. So you become so stingy that you're not willing to plant or give, or you become so collective that you're holding on to it, waiting until it gets the size that you want it to be. And you'll miss a moment if you dictate it based on size. Trees never come like they look in your backyard. But watch this. You didn't have to plant them, and the people who didn't have to watch them grow. I can't hear nobody. And so a lot of times what happens is we are discouraged because we're looking for trees, but we only have seeds. We're looking for successes, and we won't start building in the current moment. So watch this. You may be married and unhappy, but if you can't stop and appreciate the moment that you're in marriage, you will never build with the person that you're dedicated to, because you cannot see a tree. All you see is a seed. I can't hear nobody. If you're starting a business and you're doing a business, just because you don't have 100 list clientele, you'll forfeit the chance that you have to actually grow the business. Watch this, because you're chasing after a different moment of success. You want 1,000 people, but you just open your doors. Appreciate the one person that walks in the door. I can't hear nobody. My grandmama used to say these words: when people are nice, just be thankful that they're nice, because they don't have to be nice to you. And so a lot of times we get this sense of entitlement when we have seeds, as if we've already grown trees. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir. Amen.
Are y'all with me? See, there are children. I have kids, and I have children that will celebrate my money even though they didn't go make it. They didn't get up. They didn't go to work. They didn't help me. They didn't do none of that. They didn't log in. They didn't do the 16 hours, but got the nerves to ask for $200 tennis shoes. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, Pastor Jay.
Because they didn't plant the seed. What was the seed? Getting up every single day when I didn't want to. While you slept, I went to work. While you were sick, I went to work. While you got to eat all the cereal, I went to work. Why? Because somebody had to go plant the seeds so that you could have a tree to eat off of. Somebody had to go plant those seeds. And so what you are starting to do is, watch this, you'll look at somebody else's tree, and you'll walk, if you're not careful about the moment that you've been given or the chance or opportunity that you've been afforded, you will start walking in covetousness about somebody else's fruit based on what's in your yard. I can't hear nobody.
Jesus.
I own a business. And let me tell you, what would happen is this: I would go out and I would develop these contracts. I would get these contracts, and I got a contract for 30 and 40,000 and this, that, and the other. And I have people who work for me, and I would tell them, this is how much you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid 3,000. You're going to get paid 4,000. You're going to get paid 6,000, right? And so what would happen is this: as I would begin to do what I'm doing, and business is coming along and things are growing, the people who worked for me, watch this, because they didn't appreciate the moment that they had, they would start getting angry about the moment that I'm having. Are y'all listening to me?
Yes, sir.
This is what they would do. Well, I feel like we should get 10,000. I mean, if you got 40,000, we should get 10,000 apiece. That would be enough for all of us. No. You didn't appreciate your moment. Ain't no other job giving you $3,000 for 1 week's worth of work. But because they didn't appreciate their moment, they begin to covet my moment. Y'all not saying nothing to me. And so a lot of times people will get mad at your moment and miss their moment, because now, instead of appreciating their moment, now they're unemployed. I can't hear nobody. Because what you will not do is steal from my moment. Since you cannot appreciate what you have, I tell you what, now you went from thousands to unemployed. Let's see how that moment feels.
Oh.
Y'all not saying nothing to me. And so it becomes one of those type of things where when people start to watch this, you can tell people who don't appreciate their moments because they will start to criticize other people's moments. They'll start to criticize other people's stuff. So let me just share that with y'all. Don't let anybody, as a matter of fact, do me a favor. Just say this. I'm not letting anyone steal my moment.
I'm not letting anyone.
Come on, say this. I'm not letting anybody steal my moment.
I'm not letting anyone steal my moment.
I'm not letting nobody steal my moment, and I'm not letting nobody affect my moment. People who do not understand what you are going for and what you are getting to will oftentimes criticize what you have because it does not look like what you said. Come closer. People who cannot see the vision of because your vision will not come as a complete picture. It will come in moments. This is why the Bible is so tactful when it tells you to write the vision, because you'll write the vision, but all you have is a moment. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to paint a Picasso, but you forgot to even start with one stroke. I can't hear nobody. And so when you begin to stroke your painting, it must be done moment by moment and stroke by stroke. You have got to put this thing together in small pieces. You are trying to get a Picasso because you got a giant canvas, but there's no picture on the canvas. And if you are not, watch this, when you don't operate in appreciation and you don't handle your moments with care, you'll make a mess instead of having a portrait. Come closer. You'll make a mess instead of having a portrait. Come closer. You'll make a mess instead of having a portrait. Does that make sense?
You're speaking, sir.
Because we're not seizing moments. Watch this. When somebody sees a moment that has not been careful with calculating that moment, they become reckless. And what they start doing is this. Watch this. They become opportunists. They become manipulative. Come closer. Help me. They become opportunists and they become manipulative by trying to seize a moment without having a plan. This is why they so quickly. Have y'all ever been scammed before? Have anybody ever been scammed? Anybody tried to scam you? Anybody ever tried to take something from you?
Yes.
If you notice something about scammers, there's a different class of scammers, right? There's one class of scammer who's very sophisticated in their approach. They have the vernacular down. They got the speech down. They have the wording down. And so it's harder to detect that scammer. But the scammer that's easy to detect is the one who sends you these threatening letters, but they misspelled the words. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me.
Yeah.
I had somebody send me a scam that says, you have missed your payment of, it was supposed to say 3,600, but they, instead of using a comma, they used a period. So it says $3.61, 000. So it looks like I got $3.61,000 remaining. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Or somebody who misspells it because they are a scammer trying to steal a moment. They haven't planned it. They haven't thought it through. They haven't done any of those things. And what they're trying to do is they see the opportunity to manipulate and then they jump in there. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When you must be careful about your moment. Everybody write this. I must be strategic about my moment. Strategic.
About my moment.
You must be strategic about your moment.
Strategic about my moment.
When you are not strategic about your moments, watch this. When I am strategic about my moments, I understand where I'm going and that where I am is not the destination. There's a word that we use in the church all the time, and I hate when they use it because when you use it out of context, you'll get people confused. It's the word destiny. You know, when people say, well, you're going to your destiny and you're reaching your destiny and you're doing this and your destiny and your destiny. Let me tell you something about being strategic about your moment. Destiny is not the destination. Destiny is the road to a destination.
Come on.
Y'all not hearing me? Destiny is the road to a destination. And so when you're strategic about your moment, what happens is you don't confuse the road to as being the final resting place. And so some of us have small successes and we stop there and we forget the rest of the picture. I can't hear nobody. We forget the rest of the picture. This is why we get satisfied with having a boyfriend, never reaching the altar to get a husband. Okay, let me turn left. Y'all don't like that. I apologize. I apologize to all of y'all who've been dating 9 years and they made it to the okay, never mind. Because the moment was to get a companion, but never to make it to the altar. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me pull up. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like it. I get it.
Stay there. Stay there, sir.
Preach it, Pastor.
Because a lot of people are so they're so content with making $18 an hour that they're not. Watch this, and I can tell you how they're content because they go to job, they clock in, and they leave. They never try to prove that I deserve promotion. I can't hear nobody. They never try to prove that I deserve promotion because they have reached their pinnacle, but they have not completed the vision. And that's why a lot of people have to be careful. This is why the Bible says to write the vision and to make it plain. Because if you don't write it, you'll forget where you're going. Come closer. You'll stop at one moment of success. What would the world look like if he created the heavens and the earth and he stopped and said it was good? Had he not come back the second day and said, wait a minute, I need some plants. Wait a minute, now I need fish. Wait a minute, now I need somebody to... Okay, y'all ain't saying nothing to me. God had a plan, and the plan was not to just create and stop. And most of y'all get to one area of success, and y'all say it is good, and y'all stay there.
My God.
You get to that, you got you one stinking little job, and it's good. I'm good right here. Some of you are so content with paying your rent that you're not even looking to buy nothing. I'm not buying no house. I'm straight. I pay my little $650. I'm good. Because more requires more, but you want more at the same level. And so what you do, y'all not saying nothing. And so you'll stay there. Y'all do this with life. Y'all do it with the spirit. Y'all do it with your relationships. You do it with yourself. Watch this. Because you're so comfortable with who you are, where you are, ain't nobody gonna come in and change you. I ain't changing for nobody. They gonna accept me as I am, or they just, because more requires more and you're not willing to do, okay, all right, my bad. Y'all don't like this. This is why when somebody tells you black women don't not wear bonnets in public, you got an attitude, because more requires more.
Bring them out,
Huh?
Pastor J.
Huh? And then you watch this. You think you deserve a doctor, but you acting like a okay, never mind. You think you deserve a lawyer, but you want to live like okay. You claim that you want a king, but you're acting like a peasant. Because more requires more.
You better teach in the hood.
Because here's the reality. Most of you have come in contact with what could have been your future, but is now a vision far off. And I said it before, let me say it again. Let me just heard about 4 more people. Somebody else is living your happily ever after because you couldn't appreciate the moment.
We.
Somebody else is living in your house, driving your car because you were enough. Well, if they ain't gonna do it like this, then they ain't gonna never. And that's why you got what you got. Am I insulting you where you are? Absolutely. Am I talking about you like a dog? Absolutely. Well, what kind of pastor would do that? The kind of pastor that wants you to see, the kind of pastor that wants to see you succeed further than what you've already done. Some of y'all, and I'm going to say this, I don't know why I'm going to hurt somebody, but some of you are so excited about survival that you haven't even started living. Some of you are so happy that you just made it out, like that was the whole goal. The goal was not to survive. The point of surviving was to start living.
Come on, come on.
But some of you have
God.
just rested at survival. But you know what? I survived. I'm straight. I'm not gonna rock the boat. I'm not gonna do nothing. Maybe the story of y'all remember the story when I talked about in the Bible where God gave the one man 10, the one man 5, and the other man 1, and he appreciated the other 2 because they went out and doubled it. He said, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And then the one that did 5, he doubled it. He said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." But the one that had 1, he buried it. He said, "I buried it and hid it, so when you came back, I would have something to present to you." He said, "You evil and wicked servant." Maybe what God is really trying to get you to do is take a chance on something and stop always trying to sit there trying to be safe. Maybe the moral of that story is, I'm not mad if you would have lost it. I'm mad because you never tried. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Maybe the moral of that parable was to get you to understand that more requires more. You're going to have to take a chance with what you have if you ever think you're going to increase it by seizing this moment. God has given most of you another moment, because I told you seasons come around. So you will go through seasons of lack, but then you will go through seasons of plenty. Watch this. The way you survive a season of lack is by saving in your season of plenty. I can't hear nobody.
Say that.
And so a lot of times the reason you don't have is because you don't seize the moment. Some of you are living in a season of lack, but can I share this with you? And I'm about to prophesy. Your season of plenty is about to come back around. And God is saying you cannot worry about what is happening now. You cannot be faint about what's happening now. You cannot be upset about what's happening now, because your season is coming. And the way you respect this season is by understanding I've got to let that season go. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. Your season of plenty is getting ready to come back around. And when it comes back around, watch this. Don't feel like it's owed to you. Feel like I've been waiting on this. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You got to start feeling like I've been waiting on this because last season did me bogus, and now I know what to do with this season.
My God.
I know what to do with this season. I know where I am now. Some of you have got to learn to appreciate where you are right now. I don't care where you are, even if you're at rock bottom, because God is God of the rocks. Preach, Jack. I'm doing my best.
Jay, come through.
Even if you're at rock bottom, he's still God of the rocks. Even if you're in the clouds, he's still God of the clouds. He's the same God. I feel something. He's the same God. Woo! Everywhere. Please understand that whatever moment I am in at this particular space, I'm going to appreciate it, because it won't always be. If you don't have it, start with what you got. Make an assessment of what I have. I need to put this there. I need to put this there. I need to put that there. I need to do this there. Watch this. Most of y'all can't appreciate because it ain't the size that you want it. Appreciate right now. Put your hand on yourself and tell yourself, appreciate right now. Appreciate right now. I know you don't have a car, but appreciate right now. I know you don't have a savings account, but appreciate right now. I know you're single. I know you're heartbroken. I know you're angry. I know you lost your baby. I know you're pissed off, but appreciate right now. This is where I am, and this is what I'm going through. And now that I've acknowledged it, I'm going to appreciate it, and we're going to move forward, because my season is coming. My season is changing, and I need to appreciate this moment so I won't affect my next moment. Who am I talking to this morning?
You giving free answers, Pastor Jay.
That's good, sir.
Direction.
Talk to me.
Everybody leading us to it.
This moment right here, listen to me. Listen to me. This moment right here is the most important moment of your life. because this very moment could change the complete trajectory of your life. When people take gambles, they take gambles on chance, which means I could have success if all of these things work together simultaneously. But I'm not looking for instant success. I'm looking for longevity. I need perpetual seasons of success, which means I need perpetual moments of responsibility. Preach, Jay. I'm doing my best. I need perpetual seasons of success, which means I need perpetual moments of responsibility. Perpetual seasons of success, meaning I need perpetual moments of responsibility, which means I know what's happening in this moment, and I'm going to start in this moment. Millionaires will tell you they did not make millions of dollars in one large sum. They made their money penny by penny. Everything of value can be broken down into smaller pieces. Hear me. You can break 1,000 down into 100, 100 down into $1, $1 into dimes, dimes into nickels, and nickels into pennies. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you start today, you don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. More requires more. Better requires better. Deeper requires deeper. Let me say it like this. You only gonna get out what you put in. Right?
Right. That's right.
Okay. Y'all gonna wake up in here this morning and talk to me, because I'm finna let y'all go, but y'all not gonna disrespect my moment.
Pastor, we taking it in.
Now, I ain't talking to you. Listen.
I won't, Pastor. You just taking it. I was like, because I don't over here just.
Watch this. Watch this. Because I'm finna shock the world. You only gonna get out what you put in, right? Right, church?
That's right.
Yeah.
We're with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe the reason that you keep attracting what you keep attracting is because of what you put out.
Oh, that's a good nugget. That's a good.
So when you ask yourself, why do I keep attracting these kind of men? What are you putting out? Okay, all right.
That's correct. Wow.
Yeah, in your mind, you be like, well, I don't even act like that. You ain't looking at you.
Okay.
So if that's what you keep getting, that's what you putting out. And most people do not come to the reality that this is what I'm putting out. Yes, it is. It's called bait. So you're going to attract wildlife.
That's good.
Wow. That's good.
When multiple people tell you you got a nasty attitude, but you can't seem to see it, what am I putting out? Okay.
Can I say something, Pastor? This is Atasha.
When you got the same stimulus check other people got, and it seemed like they, never mind. Go ahead, Tasha.
It's a good morning, everyone. I just want to say that this message that you brought today, this morning, it is for me. I have been going through, I want to say, it's not hatred, but I guess bitterness.
Hey, y'all.
in
So
my
we're
heart
letting
towards this
everybody
person.
on Clubhouse voice their
He
opinions and
deceived me. I was
say
in a
what they
bad
needed to
relationship.
say.
He
Good morning,
deceived me.
Jordan.
He is
Hi,
a
chicken.
preacher.
Hi, Daddy's baby.
And
I hope you
we
feeling better.
dated.
I hope you feeling better.
He
I know you're going to get
made a
tested this
move on
morning
my
for
daughter,
the one-ninetism,
and
but the devil
I
is a
have been
liar.
spending a
The
lot of my
devil is a
time and
liar.
energy,
I need my baby to be okay.
reflecting
All right.
on what
So good
happened.
morning
I
to
know
you.
I'm not a bad
Good
person.
morning,
I've been going to
everybody.
church ever since I've been a little
You
girl.
have comments and questions. You can
I
post them
believe
here
in
on Facebook. I
God,
can
and
read them. As you can see, I can read
this year has just been hurting
to
me,
my
and I've
daughter
been
and my wife.
asking God to
So
help me
if
is to
you
move
guys
forward.
want to post your
So
questions in your comments, just
it's
leave them
not
right
that.
there.
I mean,
And
I
if
don't
you're
know.
on
I
Facebook,
heard you when you
please go
said,
follow Pastor
what are
Space
you doing
J
to
Space Speaks.
attract
That
these
is my
type
new
of people?
Facebook page,
But
and it is
I'm not
also
a bad person.
my
I go to
YouTube
church
channel,
and
Pastor J
I
Speaks.
try to do
Go
what God wants
subscribe,
me to do.
share, do all of those
So
things. I'm working on some new
I
things.
don't know.
I understand. I
I don't
understand
know.
that I'm not everybody's cup of tea and everybody's brand of tea, but I am a good drink. So if this is helping you today, if the broadcast is helping you in any type of way, then you go ahead and you share and you be part of that, okay? All right, let me get back to the audience. Yes, I can hear her. I was also speaking on Facebook. I told y'all, when you guys get the opportunity to go ahead, share your comments and your thoughts and your processes. Those of you down there in the audience, let me hear some of your thoughts. Why don't you raise your hand right fast and let me bring some of you up on stage and let me hear from some of you. I know some of you are new to my room and I appreciate it. All I can say is thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and ideas with me. But those of you who are down in the audience, why don't you raise your hand? I want to hear from some of you this morning. And all of y'all ain't employed, so don't play games with me. Why don't you go ahead and raise your hand? Let me bring some of you up. Hey, Tanisha, Tereska, Virginia, Rhonda, AP, Michelle, Joy, Portia, Sandra, Jada, C, Nicole, Vanetta, Michelle, Chiquita. Okay. Yeah, so good to see some of you guys. So nobody got no comments, no questions. No, ain't nobody saying nothing to me this morning. This must be coming from a place.
Pastor J, it's Pastor Chrissy. I was just gonna say, did you hear what Atasha said? I'm not sure if you responded to her because you were on mute, so I'm not sure if you were aware, if you heard what she said, or if you were breaking up. Because I think you came back in, but I think you were breaking up too.
I'm sorry. No, what did she say? I apologize. What did she say? Repeat what you said, Atasha.
Atasha, you still there?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you had a question, baby?
Well, I'm saying everything I've been listening, what all you're saying, and this message is for me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And like conflicting on your past and letting it get the best of you. I was deceived by a preacher. He came up to me and said, the Lord said that you was for me, and we dated, and through the dating, he made a move on my daughter, and we broke up, and I just been sitting and, dwelling on, I don't hate him, but I do have bitterness, and, and I'm not a bad person. I know you said that what are you doing to contract these type of people, but I'm not a bad person. I've been going to church all my life. I sing gospel quartet. I try to do my best with God, I think that what he want me to do. I try to treat people the way I would like to be treated, try to be fair, but, I just don't. I'm trying to go on. I'm trying to ask God to help me to move on, but it's still hard.
Well, okay. All right. I didn't think we were going to turn this way, but sure. So here's the thing. You dated somebody who was a predator, right? They went after your child.
Right.
Right.
He's a preacher. He's a pastor.
How long did y'all date?
We was together for like a year and a couple of months.
Okay. Y'all dated but never got married.
No.
Y'all had sex.
Be honest, yes, sir.
So y'all was both living in iniquity. So what happens is this. Perversion is not discriminative, just like sin is not discriminative. The fact that he was a pervert and a preacher is coincidental. The fact that he was a perv and a preacher is coincidental. But a lot of times what people have this, and I don't want to discredit or downplay what you have experienced or what you've gone through, but a lot of times people downplay their participation in dealing with predatory people. Let me just go ahead and be honest with you. And a lot of times people, and I'm not saying you did, I'm not saying your daughter did, I'm saying there's some signs that gave away the fact that this guy was a predator and a pervert. The fact that y'all slept together before y'all got married is probably a sign that he's hiding some other stuff. That's number one. Number two, just because you're a good person doesn't mean you can't attract a bad person. Most good people attract bad people. Let me say it like this. As a preacher, I tell people all the time, I don't steal church members, I grow green grass. And the reason that I say that is because the sheep are hungry. So a lot of times, even a bad farmer can grow crop.
Yeah.
So just because you're not a bad person don't mean you're going to attract bad people. Sometimes it means you have hungry people out there. Predators are going to eat, and they don't just eat one type of fruit or one type of animal. They don't just eat impala. They just don't eat antelope. They eat whatever's moving because they're predators. They go after live bait. That's what they do.
Okay.
And so here's the other thing. Being saved, having problems and being saved is by default. Your problems don't come because you're saved. Your problems come because you're alive. The only type of people who don't have problems are ones that are dead. I know y'all don't like it, but I said what I said. The only type of people who don't have problems is dead folks. Everybody else, you're subject to have a problem. Saved, unsaved, blind, crippled, crazy. I don't care who you are. If you're alive, you're bound to have problems. What that problem is, I don't know, but you're going to have problems. And your mistake is thinking that just because I'm saved, I'm not supposed to have any.
Right. Oh, no. I mean, I Nookie. I mean, I know that.
And your second problem is that you got a dog named Nookie. That's the second problem. No one should have a dog named... No one should have a dog named Nookie. But your first problem is that you're alive. And so what happens is, and if you was on my morning show, my morning talk show, you would understand that being used by God comes with a disclaimer. You choose to be used. You can't decide how. I told them earlier, a lot of people be praying, Lord, use me. And then he'd be like, bet I'm going to give you cancer. Why? So that I can show other people that I'm a healer. What? Oh, no. Use me, Lord. Good. I'm going to let your legs get amputated. Why? So I can prove to other people that I still work with crippled people. No. People want to determine how God uses them. And it's unfortunate that you submit your life to God and it's like, God, use me. Okay, I'm going to let somebody try to take advantage of your baby. Why? So that you can show other people that I'm still a God that brings restoration. Everybody wants to be used, but we're discriminative about how. So you got to be careful. That's why I keep telling people, I'm going to do my Live on Purpose class. I'm going to do my Live on Purpose class, but I got to teach y'all that living on purpose, you don't get to decide that purpose.
Wow.
There's some things you get to decide. That ain't one of them. You don't get to decide how God is going to use you. You don't get to decide what God uses you for. The Bible says that he would make you fisher of men. Nobody ever wants to be the bait. Everybody wants to be standing on the shore bringing the fish in.
Right.
Sometimes you got to be the bait. What? You heard me. Sometimes you got to be the bait. You don't get to be the fisherman. You don't get to be the boat. You don't get to be the rod. You get to be the worm on the hook. Nobody wants to be that. So I'm sorry. I apologize that this happened to your child. I apologize that this happened to you as a person. But you've got to seize this moment. You got to live in this. Say, okay, listen, this was over a year ago. Listen, this is what happened. This is what I opened the door to. Whatever. How do I move forward?
Mm-hmm.
You got another season coming. And if you keep on, and let me tell you how you start, let me tell you how you seize other seasons. And I'm going to tell you this, and I don't even know you. Other men have tried to date you. Other men have tried to talk to you. They have wanted to talk to you. But because you've developed such a distrust, because the man of God took advantage of your vulnerability, now you don't trust nobody. So you've messed up some really good opportunities with some really good guys because you have an issue trusting from something that happened in your last moment.
Yeah.
And if you don't stop that, what's going to happen is you're going to grow old and you're going to be alone. And what's going to happen, and the next guy that comes along will be a guy that is a shark that comes to take advantage of you because he's going to smell blood in the water. Because a lot of people know where to hit you at because you show them where you're weak. And because you got a problem trusting people, what they're going to do is, and most guys do this, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you. What most guys do is they feed into your ability to not trust. And what they will do is wait around and keep showing up, keep popping up in strange and weird places, trying to prove to you that you can trust them, and you'll let the wrong guy in.
Right. It's true. I know.
You got to tell me, I know. I got the real Holy Ghost. I can tell you what I see. You let the wrong guy in, and the wrong guy's going to take advantage of you. Now watch this. He may not try to hurt your kids, but he'll definitely hurt your credit score.
Yeah. Wow.
And because he appears to be such a good guy, you'll pay to keep him. I can't hear nobody. You'll pay to keep him, and you'll lose your money, but you'll lose your mind in the process. So now you're paying for peace. You're paying for companionship, paying for love, when you could have just opened up to somebody who would love you, that you would have the opportunity to trust, but you keep making them live in your last season.
I hear you. I hear you.
God
Good
bless.
word. Good advice. I love it.
Next person.
Pastor Jay, this is Tawana. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you just messed me up just seeing him, but I'm good. I just want to tell you thank you, and I'm glad that God allowed me to stumble on this room, because like I told you before, I have grown tremendously just in that little time I've been in your room. And what you just said to that young lady, been there, done that, not with the pastor, with the preacher situation, but been there, and with the part where you said, what are you doing to attract these kind of people? I asked myself that for a while until one day God told me, sit down, work on yourself. I need to work on myself. I am a good person. I have a good heart, but I was allowing the wrong people in my heart. I know about the credit. I know about the thing, about the slicksters coming in, and I allowed them to mess up my credit, because a lot of things that happen to us, we allow it. So I allowed my credit to get messed up, 700 and something credit score. Now I'm trying to rebuild it now. So I do understand that I feel fine though. You know, when you, like I said before, when you're not in denial, you kind of get delivered fast and get set free from stuff. So I'm not in denial about the mistakes I made, the things that I allowed in my life. And I thank you so much for being so transparent and real. And I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good with the way you act. Sometimes you good. You good. You be talking the true stuff. You be talking the real stuff, and that's what it's about. You real, and that's what I like most about you. That you real. You real. You genuine. You are real, and whether you playing or whether you saying the word, bringing forth the word, you just real and transparent and raw. And everybody don't want the meat. Everybody don't want the meat. Some people still drinking milk, so that's why they can't take it.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't know what to tell you. But that's where that is. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And I'm praying that your situation becomes the situation that you needed.